Previously, I did a video where I reviewed this HOTO toolkit, and I talked about some things that I didn't like about it, although I do still keep it upstairs so that I don't have to run downstairs and get tools, and it works very well for that. I used to keep it downstairs, and then I would run downstairs and get the toolkit and bring it upstairs, and then I would only have one set of tools in the house unless I wanted to go out into the garage. So it's kind of there's heavier duty stuff in the garage and more options if I want to go get that stuff. But this would be the only set of tools in the house, other than the few things that I keep in my desk that are very minor for like fixing like kids' toys and stuff like that. Um, I'll say this is a great kit for what it is for inside the house. Um, but since I keep it upstairs, part of the reason I keep it upstairs is because I don't really want to reach into it um, on a regular basis whenever I'm sitting in my office or I'm downstairs in my house. So I'm normally downstairs, so I don't when I go upstairs. We have bedrooms and some other space up there, but I'm usually downstairs, and so in my office, I like to have the stuff that I want to reach for. And this stuff is fine. It feels pretty good, has a good grip to it, but um, it's not my it's not my preference for stuff. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I currently reach for instead of this stuff. Um, so if I need to get a screwdriver, lately I will get this. And so this is a vessel. You can see the model number. So this is a ratcheting screwdriver. It came with these bits. So most of the bits that I need, other than some, I guess, Allen wrench style hex key bits, which I have some other bit kits around, and there's even some bits in here I might go to. But this is what I would reach for and keep in a little bin near my desk. So tape measure. This tape measure is fine, but it's a little small. I keep this, and this is what I use. I don't even know where this came from. So, but it is orange, and so it's easy for me to see. In my garage, I have a lot of Milwaukee stuff, and I actually bought a Milwaukee tape measure, and it's great, but it's red, so it blends in. And so I realized that I needed to get something orange. So I picked up I think a Klein that I have out in my garage, but I just keep this one in the house. So this, I don't even, this just has been floating around my house for forever, and it's easy to see. So I think I've had a bunch of other like red and blue and various black various tape measures, and this one seems like it has survived for I don't even I maybe have had this 10 or 15 years just simply because it's orange. So so that's the tape measure. So these I I can't stand adjustable wrenches. I will use these Knipex. Um, I forget what these are called, but they're these um, flat jaw, and I do have a pair of small Cobra pliers that I keep in my desk that also work very well for this sort of thing. But I normally get these if I'm thinking about something that's an adjustable wrench. Pliers. I have there's Milwaukee multi tools. Um, I still normally just using the needle nose grabber portion of this, and I got these so that I could strip wires when I'm working on outlets in the house and stuff like that. And they have a nice cutter, but most of the time I'm just either using the cutter or I'm using these pinchy things. So a lot of times if I'm stripping wires, I just just use a razor and cut them a little bit. And so that's it. For a hammer, I don't actually have another hammer that I keep inside the house. So usually if I need a hammer, I'll go and grab this hammer, or I am downstairs. I have another smaller version of this kit that has another hammer in it. Um, and so I might reach over and grab this, but I have a hammer out in the garage that's pretty close at hand, and I'm generally not using a hammer for anything that I can't just kind of like tap in with the end of a screwdriver or this. So, um, which is not something I recommend, but I'm just not using hammers so often. So maybe only when I'm putting some anchors in, um, then I might tap them in a little bit. But a lot of times that's I'll just use a little hammer. So so the next thing would be this drill, and I guess I would say with the drill, we have part one, which would be the cordless screwdriver that's in here. I'll typically reach for that first. And then depending on which one is in the house at the time, I would reach for this or this impact driver. So I use this impact driver just as a drill quite a bit because it's very light. I think it's actually lighter than this thing here. And then this is an installation driver, drill driver. So if you don't know, these have like a bunch of different attachments. So um, that's what I got this for. Is it has like a right angle attachment offset where you can do different things. And so, but it doesn't matter. The point is, I'll normally go and get these. And I have larger versions of these drills if I needed to drill something. Um, this is just the stuff that's downstairs again. So, if I'm drilling a hole in sheetrock, this thing is fine. It's not going to cause a problem. So I did have to take apart a bunch of shelves in my garage that I was moving that were basically made of a lot of very old lumber, 3/4 inch plywood, 2x4s, and using like, 3-4 inch wood screws, different kinds. And this, this thing could not even take them out of, it wouldn't even unscrew them. So, um, and I tried to screw in some longer um, construction screws when I was mounting some heavier duty shelves in my garage with this just for fun, and it it really struggled. So I didn't want to tear it up, so I just kind of took it back in the house and just kind of went on my way. So anyway, so these are the things that I reach for, other than the drills, which are take up a little bit more space, I guess. I mean, this is kind of comparable to this, and this is normally what I reach for utility kind of stuff. You can see most of these things are it's kind of similar. So I guess maybe I could just buy like a small hammer, and then I could just keep this in. I have just a drawer that I keep these in right in my office, and it doesn't really take up any more or less space. So it sort of defeats the purpose of my original reason for getting this HOTO thing to begin with, which was, oh, I want to get it into a nice, neat package. So it's not like all these random things are kind of laying all over the place. Um, it's not, uh, when I'm in the house, it's not like this is something I don't have to kit out to go and do construction. So um, I like to I like to saw some wood and do some things like that in the garage as much as any guy probably. But inside the house, I just don't really need that much stuff. And so my thinking had been to take this pile of stuff, which I had a different pile. Um, well, other than a couple of these I had back then, but I had a pile of stuff and a bunch of extra stuff in my house, and I just took all that stuff and put it in the garage, and I bought this one little clean case to keep inside the house. And so that has been nice, but I found myself, if I'm doing a bunch of work inside the house, I'll be missing my more normal tools that I had in the garage. And so I've taken to kind of keeping this as sort of like a, oh, I'm upstairs and my wife wants me to mount something really quick on the wall, or I need to, just rescrew something in or something like that. This is nice to have up there. So I will say it probably need to have a level with it. That's the thing that is not included in this. I didn't show here. I usually just use a small 2 foot level that I have downstairs, or I use my iPhone. So the iPhone works great in a pinch, but that would be another thing that would be nice, I guess, to come with this in terms of if you really want this to be something like a homeowner can just use just what's in here. That's something that I think would be that's lacking if you don't have that on your phone. So anyway, so this is what I mostly replace this with um, when I'm not near this. So